Namaskar students. In today's video, I am going to discuss about standard high electrode potential, the single electrode potential and standard hydrogen electrode SHE. So first of all, we will try to understand what is electrode potential. When we make electrochemical cell, in that electrochemical cell, what happens? We take electrolyte and then we dip an electrode in it. So this is your electrode and this is your electrolyte. Now what happens in this situation when we connect both the electrodes and salt bridge? Two incidences happen. At anode, oxidation takes place, and what happens? Electrode, the metal present at electrode get oxidized and electrons are released. Whereas at cathode, reduction takes place. Electrolyte, one of the ion, gain electrons and converts into the metal. So what is single electrode potential? Single electrode potential is the potential difference between electrode and electrolyte. Right? Means flow of electron or oxidation or reduction, it will depend upon this potential difference, whether oxidation will occur or reduction will occur. Now the important point we have, how to measure this electrode potential of a single electrode. And see, it is very difficult to measure it. So what happens? We use a reference electrode. Reference electrode used to determine electrode potential of single electrode. Okay? And important thing for this reference electrode, its electrode potential is taken as 0 and we are taking arbitrarily. Arbitrarily, its electrode potential is taken as 0. Now what is happening? We are constructing an electrochemical cell using one electrode and another is the reference electrode. Reference electrode's electrode potential is taken as 0. So whatever deflection we are getting in voltmeter or galvanometer, that will be due to the another electrode because electrode potential of reference electrode is 0. We can use standard hydrogen electrode. Standard hydrogen electrode SHE as the reference electrode. We can use glass electrode or calomel electrode as reference electrode. So for reference electrode, we can use hydrogen electrode, we can use glass electrode, we can use calomel electrode, but in IUPAC version, IUPAC, we are using standard hydrogen electrode as the reference electrode. So what is your standard hydrogen electrode? Okay. So standard hydrogen electrode is an electrode in which hydrogen gas at 1 bar pressure 1 bar pressure and at 298 Kelvin is passed through an electrolyte having 1 molar H plus ion concentration. 1 molar H plus ion concentration, best we can take 1 mHCl solution. If I am taking 1 molar hydrochloric acid solution, the H plus ion concentration of the solution will be 1 m. And we are using an inert electrode of platinum. So this is your platinum electrode. Platinum electrode. Right. So what we are doing in standard hydrogen electrode? Hydrogen gas at 1 bar pressure and 298 Kelvin passed through an electrolyte having 1 molar H plus ion concentration, and the platinum electrode is used. When I am talking about this standard hydrogen electrode, it can be placed at anode and it can be placed at cathode. Right. Now if I am placing it at anode, what reaction will take place? Say hydrogen gas converts into 2H plus 2 electrons. So what cell will be formed? H2 gas. Here we have used platinum electrode and converting into H plus 1m concentration. Right. This is the half cell. If H2 is placed at this standard hydrogen electrode, SHE is placed at anode. Now if we placed it at cathode, if hydrogen electrode is placed at cathode, now what happens? H plus 2 electron converts into H2 gas. Okay, here at anode it was oxidation, at cathode it was reduction. So half cell which can be formed like this, H plus ion concentration with 1 m molar concentration converting into hydrogen gas, and we have used platinum inert electrode. We can use this hydrogen electrode at anode as well as cathode, and another electrode will be placed on the another side. Right. And when we are talking where to keep this electrode, whether at anode or cathode, so as per IUPAC rules, this standard hydrogen electrode is placed, at anode. Okay. This hydrogen electrode is placed at anode, and reduction potential of another electrode is determined, and that reduction potential, now what I am doing, I am placing this standard hydrogen electrode at anode and another electrode, say I am making this another electrode M plus 1m concentration converting into M solid, or I can take Mn plus, right, 1m concentration, and this is your reduction potential. Whatever electrode potential we are getting as it will be a reduction site, so reduction potential will be getting is called as standard electrode potential. Will be called as what? Standard electrode potential E naught. Not E naught cell, only E naught. Okay, and we can determine standard electrode potential of any single electrode by using reference electrode. Okay, clear? Now see, if we arrange standard electrode potential of all the electrodes in decreasing order, E naught of all electrodes in decreasing order, we get a series, and that series is called as electrochemical series. This electrochemical series is very important. We should know how it is constructed. If you don't know the values, there is no problem, because in questions all the times values are given. So we are not concerned about the values. How this electrochemical series is constructed, we should know. So what is electrochemical series? Electrochemical series is when E naught of all the electrodes are arranged in the decreasing order, the series formed is called as electrochemical series. And this electrochemical series E naught values are very important for us. If you see, it is in decreasing order. So number one thing, E naught of electrode is directly proportional to oxidizing character and inversely proportional to reducing character. Let's understand. If you see fluorine, I have taken few elements, I have not taken complete electrochemical series, just for reference to explain. So among all elements, E naught of F2 to 2F minus is the highest one, 2.87 volt. These all values are in volt. So this fluorine, you can say it is the strongest oxidizing agent. Okay. And see, for lithium among all the elements, E naught is minus 3.05 volt, means it is the least. Okay. And this lithium is at the bottom of the electrochemical series. For lithium, you can say lithium is the strongest reducing agent. Let me clear two things. Though lithium has high ionization enthalpy, if you compare group 1 elements, so lithium highest ionization enthalpy in group 1 and cesium has the least ionization enthalpy, first ionization enthalpy. Despite of this, lithium is strongest reducing agent. It can easily give electron in the solution due to high hydration enthalpy of Li+. Similarly, fluorine can gain the electron easily. This F- can gain the electron easily. Its strongest oxidizing agent, means it is oxidizing another substance, itself is getting reduced, right? And that is strongest oxidizing agent. If you see gaining capacity of electron, EGE, it is highest of for chlorine among all the elements. Despite of this, fluorine is the strongest oxidizing agent due to high hydration enthalpy of F- ion. Now in this table, if you see hydrogen, right, when you connect one standard hydrogen electrode with another standard hydrogen electrode, there will be no deflection. E naught is 0, right? Now you can compare, see here, copper, silver, they are less reactive than hydrogen, means they are more oxidizing as compared to hydrogen. And remaining, you can see nickel, iron, zinc, magnesium, lithium, these are stronger reducing than hydrogen. So first application, electrochemical series, when we arrange standard electrode potential of all the electrodes, not cell, electrodes in decreasing order, the series formed is called as electrochemical series. And using this electrochemical series, the values of E naught, we can compare oxidizing or reducing nature of different element substances. Lower the value of E naught, stronger will be reducing character. Higher the value of E naught, stronger will be oxidizing character. Point number 1. Now point number 2, if we want to determine standard electrode potential of a cell. So how to determine E naught cell, standard electrode potential of the cell? When I am talking about standard electrode potential of cell, or I am talking about standard electrode potential of the electrode, the essential conditions are temperature should be 298 Kelvin, right? And concentration of electrolyte must be 1 molar, that is 1 mole per liter. Concentration should be there. Now if we want to determine E naught cell, when we construct cell, draw overall electrode potential, standard electrode potential of the cell will be due to contribution of both the electrode, that is cathode and anode. So what I can say, E naught cell is equals to E naught anode plus E naught cathode, sum of value of these two. Now the problem is what is happening at anode? Oxidation. And see, our standard electrode potential, it is in term of reduction. So this oxidation, anode should be converted into reduction potential. Say E oxidation, and see your anode is always present on left hand side, plus E naught reduction, and it is happening at cathode. Cathode is present on right hand side, that is representation of electrochemical series. Or what I can say, E naught cell, that is oxidation, now I am converting into reduction. If I convert into reduction, what I have to do? I have to change the sign. Say, till now what is happening? F minus is converting F2, that is oxidation. And if I am taking F2 converting into F minus, then this oxidation should be converted into reduction. So E naught reduction on left hand side, and I have to change the sign, plus E naught reduction on right hand side, that is already at cathode, it is in the form of reduction. Or simply I can say E naught R minus E naught L is equals to E naught cell. When you are using this formula, you have to take all the values in term of standard electrode potential, E naught values. No need to change the sign, right? I will take one example. In my previous video, I constructed copper zinc cell. What was that copper zinc cell? Zn plus Cu2 plus converted into Cu plus Zn2 plus. Okay. Now the cell was Zn to Zn2 plus copper 2 plus 2 copper. This is your right hand side, this is your left hand side. If I want to determine E naught cell for this reaction or this cell, Cu2 plus 2 Cu. Now see where it is, Cu2 plus 2 Cu, it is 0.34 volt minus. Now we have to check Zn2 plus to Zn. See, we have not to check for Zn to Zn2 plus, because if we have already converted this oxidation into term of reduction. So Zn2 plus to Zn, where it is Zn2 plus to Zn, it is 0.76 volt, and it is in minus 0.76 volt, or this complete comes 1.10 volt, and in that particular situation our E naught cell, it was 1.10 volt. Now one another thing, if E naught cell is positive, your reaction will be spontaneous, and if E naught cell is negative, your reaction will be non-spontaneous. Let us see, we are taking one case so we can easily understand. If I make a copper zinc cell, copper silver cell, say I am taking silver as anode just for reference, okay, and I am taking cathode of copper, means the cell is constructed like this, twice Ag plus Cu2 plus gives twice Ag plus Cu. Right? We want to predict whether this reaction is spontaneous or not. So how we can determine, say, E naught Cu2 plus 2 Cu, say E naught cell. Just now I told it is 0.34 volt minus Ag plus 2 Ag. It is 0.80 volt. 0.80 volt when I use, and it is positive. So 0.80 volt. When we solve this one, it comes minus 0.46 volt. Now see, E naught cell is negative, means this particular reaction is thermodynamically non-spontaneous. It should be like this, twice Ag plus Cu converts into twice Ag plus Cu2 plus, or our cell will be converted like this, Cu to Cu2 plus Ag plus 2Ag. When I determine E naught cell in this situation, say it will be 0.80 right side minus 0.34 volt, or it is 0.46 volt, means this particular reaction is thermodynamically spontaneous. This particular reaction is thermodynamically non-spontaneous. So these are the applications of electrochemical series. In my next video, I will be taking about the Nernst equation, one of the very important concepts. Thank you.